Yeah.
And go.
Oh gosh. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. If you'd like to join us, please hit the subscribe button and you can join in on chat. You can also check out our website at danddadjokes.com, where you will find links to our other social media, which is also down below, and other updates of various things that's coming up. Frankfurt Con is around the corner. What day is that?
The 27th.
The 27th. All right. And Rhonda will be there running some tables. So if you're in the Kentucky, Cincinnati, Indiana, Southern Indiana area, go check out Frankfurt Con. I think that's it. Do we have anything else? Oh yeah, next week. Thank you for reminding me. Next week we are not streaming. We are taking a break for a week because of reasons.
It's my fault.
I'm
so
so
good.
sad.
Because of life.
We all have real lives, and some of us have to work. Some of us
Speak for
don't, but
yourself.
some of us do.
I gotta go make money.
I'm speaking for the other three. I don't work.
I don't
Some of us generally don't have to travel for work.
Yeah, some of us don't have to travel for work, but oh well, it
I do.
happens. So we will not be streaming next week. So we'll catch you in 2 weeks after tonight.
We're
So-
screaming instead of streaming.
We'll be screaming, yeah. All right. Joe might be screaming. All right. So
Enjoy
tonight's episode.
California.
Oh shoot, I didn't write the title on here. It's
Tonight's
episode 54 entitled
Inquisition.
I am so
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
yeah, I'm a little nervous
Especially
about
when
it.
you're not in Spain.
Oh man. All right. So what happened last week? Last week, yeah, you don't remember. That's why I read this. Forsyth found Devin outside the tavern, gave him Evangeline's description, then encouraged him to report it to the Order of Truth. Meanwhile, in the Trinson home, Evangeline used sending to ask Brezin about the Forge family. He disclosed their locations within the Dirk Hall. Kosha, with Arias's aid, worked to disguise Vix, Kadeth, and herself prior to leaving the Trinson house. Kosha led the way to the secret tunnel connecting an outer storage shed to the dungeon level of the Dirk Hall. As they entered, they heard an explosion from the other side. Knowing this was the distraction provided by Arias, they quickly entered into the tunnel and began moving through. Kosha stepped on a pressure plate in the tunnel that she had missed and held there while Evangeline, with Forsyth's aid, disabled the trap prior to it triggering. Inside the Dirk Hall, they quickly made their way to the sleeping quarters on the lower level and found Evangeline's 3 siblings. Kosha took the siblings back through the tunnel to get them to a safe place while the group continued on toward the Great Hall. As they reached the stairs, they heard Gidna's voice telling Reneo, "If you manage to succeed, contact my lady." Vix, after becoming invisible, caught a glimpse of Gidna as she disappeared via a spell. While the group took down Reneo, Leslin was left scared and confused about her convictions. After Reneo fell unconscious, Buckley was instructed to lead Evangeline's parents to safety. As Forsyth healed Reneo to wake him, Kadeth had heard the commotion on the grounds of the Dirk Hall as Zevgard and guards from the Order of Truth began to make their way to the building. So, this is where we are picking up. In the Dirk Hall,
Okay.
there are people coming.
I have a plan.
Weren't we getting out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to get out,
Yeah.
and then we were going to come back and talk later.
I was pulling my note or pulling the notebook and the book and the quill out. And I'm going to
All
put quill to paper, and I'm going to concentrate on any spell that will move us out of here rapidly.
I can take me and one other person.
I
Any,
can as
short
well.
rest, Dan.
well,
And
you might get interrupted with your short rest.
Well, I started it pretty early, but okay.
You did start it, but yeah, it's not been even 15 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
However,
That's
wherever
always
you're
great.
going, you might get one. The book is going to kind of shimmer. And
You've had a whole week to think about this.
I know I've had a whole week to think about this. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's just the 4 of us. So between me and Kadeth, we can get out of here. We can
What
both
about-
dimension door.
What
You-
about the body? Well,
You
we
didn't
revived
want to.
him,
You
but-
want to take the
Reneo is conscious.
Reneo
Oh.
with you.
I thought he was dead.
well,
No,
we revived
Forsyth,
him.
because
we
you said,
revived him.
"Oh, we shouldn't kill him. We should keep him alive." And Forsyth healed him, and then
So we-
Oh, and then I stabbed him for all but one of his hit points. That's
Yes.
right.
I gave Jody. I said I'm going to concentrate, and I want to pull out any kind of spell that might be in this book that is a teleportation type of spell.
Well, if I stab him for the remaining hit point, he becomes an object, and then we can carry him out the dimension
I can
door.
carry him
Well,
out
and then-
anyway.
I like
And
I like the other idea that was thrown out at one point.
Throw
We
him
could
in a
just
bag
throw
of
him in a bag of holding
that's right.
temporarily.
Okay, yeah,
That would
that's what
kill
we
him.
should do. No, he's got like 10 minutes plus whatever his con is.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
more
know
than enough
what-
time.
And you already know what I want to do.
But-
I know.
I can just carry him out as an eagle.
Is there a good
Giant.
But would
flight
it be
path out of here?
beneficial? I'm going to say, is there a what path? A flight path? You'd
Flight
have to get
path.
out to the open. You'd have to find an opening to the ceiling or something. I'm going to say that. What level is Dimension Door? It's not that high.
It's not very
Dimension
high.
door is
I
fourth.
have
I'm gonna
Dimension
say
Door, so does Fix.
It's 4th level.
it's fourth level. Okay.
Fourth lever.
I'm gonna say
lever.
Dimension Door is going to come to the surface.
Okay, that'd be if you can
I-
cast it and me and him can both
I'm
cast
gonna
it. We
tell
got
him-
enough.
I'm going to dimension door. I got
Okay.
dimension door, and I'm going to read it from the book.
And
Okay,
I'll
so you-
grab onto Reneo and dimension door with him.
And I'm going to grab Leslin and take her with me.
All right, I'll go grab Forsyth then.
Watch for
and,
you.
Let's all go to the.
Put it right here. Just grab your
Basically,
head.
we can go 500 feet away from here. That's the limit of it. So
500 feet. You
That's pretty far.
figure about here it would get you outside of the main walls, about where like
Right.
you came in.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is right where we came
It
in.
would take you about that far.
Okay. So
Maybe
let's meet-
take you a little further, but you got to know where you're going.
Yeah, let's use your dimension door. Go to the right outside the walls, right where we came into the building.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So I'll go grab Forsyth and cast mine.
And we will
I'll
go.
grab-
poof,
Hey,
poof,
I'm
poof.
trying to nap over here.
I'll go grab Reneo by the back of his neck, by the scruff of his hair.
But let's scrub.
I go over to Forsyth. Come on, we're leaving. Don't want to deal with the city guard.
Okay, for now.
And then I cast it.
All right. Poof, poof, poof. You all begin to disappear. I don't know. Probably Kadeth, you're probably the last one to get out of there. You had to go chase down Forsyth. Although he wasn't very far, you still had to go that distance.
Yeah, still.
As you cast it, and as you're starting to step through the door, you will see the main hall doors, or you won't see them. You'll hear them because they're beyond the main hall. But you'll hear them kind of slam open, and you definitely hear guards coming, and you poof
Bye-bye.
out of there. Bye bye. Wave as you leave.
Okay, bye now.
Bye bye. Bye bye now.
Bye. Bye. Are we
So-
done yet? Can I stop smiling?
All right.
How
poof
far of a
outside.
walk is it between here and my and the guild?
And the guild.
Yeah, because that's where parents and kids are.
To get down to the lower level, to kind of the main area that the guild would be at. Forsyth, you would know this. It's probably about a 20 to 25 minute walk, and it is in the lower portion of Key. It's not in the upper portion.
We might be better off going to the house first.
Because I can carry the bad guy to the house by air.
I don't
Yeah,
want him.
off
and when he tries to go through the door, fillet of fish will freeze him.
Well, that works too.
I don't want him in my home.
Well, where do you want me to
Of course, he's been there several
drop
times.
him off?
I say we take him to the guild. I'm sure they have the means to question him there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll fly him to the guild, and you guys can catch up with me there. He
That
can't
works
do
for me.
anything to me while we're flying, because if he does, I
He'll
just drop
fall.
him.
Unless he has feather fall. Wait, he can't do it right now.
I will
We-
cast.
I will bind his hands and gag him.
Just say, I'd make sure he's knocked out at least.
All right.
I'll
I'm
also
going
bind
to,
his hands because he could wake up.
I'm gonna form as a giant eagle, and I will carry him to the guild
All right.
hall.
All right.
And I will tell Leslin to follow Fix and Kadeth, and I'm going to go invisible.
And I'll wait till we're a little bit of ways, but like duck into a back alley and then remove the disguise.
Okay.
I will tell her to follow those two.
Follow those two.
I was disguised.
You were disguised. Yep. And
Yeah.
as far as you know,
I'd remove mine
There's a
too.
bugbear.
as far as you know, you don't believe you were recognized.
Kind
No,
of wiping
she'll
out the
recognize
makeup,
us
like,
now.
right, yeah.
So, all right. So Leslin will begin to follow you guys. Forsyth, you pick up the unconscious, bound body of Reneo as a
Yep.
giant eagle. Good choice, because the other one is very like, hey, there's this weird thing flying in the sky again.
Well, the
Um,
eagle will be pretty high up.
Yeah,
Because a giant eagle's pretty big.
right. But at least there are giant eagles.
No dinosaur birds.
Do we have a cloak or something we can wrap around his body? That way it doesn't look like he's carrying a person as bad.
As bad. Can
I'm
you
sure
cast
with it-
seeming?
I'm sure
There's
he
plenty
was.
of 'em.
We could do something like that.
As,
Yeah,
I was
I
to say,
got-
I'd
I got-
imagine
I'm
I'm
sure
probably
you've got
wearing
cloaks.
one that
Anybody who has a disguise kit has a separate cloak for sure.
I probably
have-
have,
I
a
have
Something
cloak.
that can
so-
work.
And I'm going to be invisible, so I won't necessarily need my cloak.
Yeah.
I can just wrap him
So
in
anyway,
mine.
we'll wrap him
That's
up
fine.
first,
It'll
and then I'll
All right.
carry him. It's
All right.
easier to control him in a cloak anyway.
That's
Yep.
true. All right. So you take off with him. You fly
Speedy delivery.
pretty quickly. You're going to beat everybody else there, of course, because of your
Yeah.
speed. You take a moment to get up high. You know you would beat everybody there, so I'm going to say you take a moment to stay up high in the sky for a little
Mhm.
bit while you wait for them, because you know approximately the right time. And you're going to land just about the time you're going to see Fix and Kadeth and Leslin making their way toward the entrance of the guild, which
All right, I will
Kadeth
land.
has been to before.
I will revert form as soon as I land, and then say, "Hi, Evangeline," because I know she's there.
Yeah, she's there
Not going
somewhere.
anywhere
For sure.
It's my mode of transportation around Key
And then-
these days.
Then
Hopefully
I
not
will
for
frog
long.
march Reneo down to the guild.
Well, he's probably still knocked out.
He's,
Oh, maybe.
well, I can roll.
No,
Yeah, no,
He-
he's
he
still
should-
unconscious
oh, is he unconscious?
Yep.
Well, then I will
at the moment.
carry him. I got a 19 strength.
Drag him. Oh,
Dragon wakes up with road rash. That's not cool.
drag him feet
Anyone
first.
guarding the
Oh, wait.
entrance?
No, there's never anybody that, as far as you know.
They don't
And
need guards.
Forsyth,
They
you don't
got
see any
traps.
Well, there was that merchant person that Evangeline had worked to worked him over to get the necklace to get in or whatever.
That was in Thrice.
That
Yeah,
was
that
in
was
Thrice,
Thrice, not
yeah.
here.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that right? Oh, okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was Thrice.
Yeah, because
That was to see your brother.
to meet your brother.
Yeah, that's right.
She went gallivanting.
Thrice is more my home, but I know this one too, so I will march him down
Okay.
there, or carry him down there, like a satchel. I will
When we
take.
get there,
Uh,
I'll look to
half orc.
Forsyth,
Pardon?
and when we get there, I'll look to Forsyth and say, "Who runs this place?"
I will let him know what I know. And Jody's looking that up right
Blah
now.
blah. Oh. Oh wait, we killed blah blah. Oh.
Yeah, we killed blah blah in another campaign.
This is blah blah.
Blah blah.
blah blah.
Who's
Do
alive?
I have it?
Distant cousin. Oh.
Yeah.
And if they're dead, it's blah blah.
Blah blah. Why can't we
Funny,
just
they
go through the
all have the
vows?
same
I think
first
Blabeck
name.
is on duty today.
I don't.
Blabeck is on duty.
Well, it's like in like Japanese culture and everything. The first name is the surname or the
Oh, there
family
you go.
name. And
Yeah.
this, see,
They're all the blahs.
yes.
Blahs. So this
I
is
don't
Family
have
law.
anybody. We haven't given anybody in the underground a name.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna give him a name because I have a feeling this is gonna need to be
We're gonna
coming
bring back.
All right,
Keep coming back. Like
Forsyth, you're pretty sure that the leader of this. Wow, that's a recipe. The leader down here is named Dornan Jannar.
Dornan Dinar. Okay. And I will relay that to Fix. I don't know if you know the Dinars, but Dornan is the man down here.
Okay.
You do not
So,
recognize the name Jannar.
In a half-orc form, I'm going to carry that burden
Can
Like-
you get us an
like a-
audience with Dornan?
like a satchel. I'm
Like a
sure I
satchel?
can.
All right. You make your way to the entrance for the underbelly here.
Give all the signs.
You give all the signs. You know the traps. So you're able to work your way through there, leading this band. A couple of people, they don't take too much interest in you guys, but they do kind of notice that you as a half-orc, Forsyth, are leading this group through the underground.
Right.
So
They've never seen me in half-orc form, so.
they've never seen you in half-orc form, and you are in a city controlled and maintained by the Order of Truth, who are anti-abhuman.
Right. Which is
Just-
the
just so
purpose
you
of
know.
doing it in the first place.
Right?
To antagonize.
Stir the pot.
Rub faces in it, mostly.
So,
Am I getting any pings down here?
if you think about it and you focus just a little bit, you are getting a few pings.
Okay.
So you head down through the underground. You go through a few tunnels.
I have to ask: is it kind of like searching for metal with a metal detector?
Beep, 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 beep,
I would
beep,
think
beep,
it's
beep,
more
beep.
like what is
Like
it?
radar.
Sonar or radar? Yeah.
Sonar, yeah. Pinging them. Okay. So anyway, I walk in like I own the place, carrying this guy in one arm,
All right.
in my hand at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oops!
pretty
I
much.
just bumped his head into a table.
Careful, he
sorry
only
about
got
that.
1 hit point.
That's okay. I didn't hit him that hard, just enough to let him know.
Just enough to make him groan and almost wake up.
I can always bring him back further.
Right? So you
Kill
walk
him,
through the
heal him,
tunnels
kill
and
him,
whatnot.
heal him.
You get into an area of the underground that you are familiar with that is almost a city within itself. There is in the caverns, there are, buildings. It's almost like a catacombs that's been cleaned out or whatever. There are buildings that have been cut into the sides of the walls. There are several little fires that kind of go to emit light and heat. As you walk through here, you will know that you can probably find Doran in what would be their tavern. He pretty much runs the place.
Is it Doran or Dornan?
Dornan, sorry, did I say Doran?
Yeah.
Dornan. That's because when I looked down, my N looked like an R. I'll fix it.
Gotcha.
Arr.
Arr. I don't know if I gave the tavern a name or not, but that's where you will need to go.
Okay. Well, following Forsyth, I think we should go there.
All right. As you carry this body through the underbelly here, or actually he's still wrapped up, but they are giving you weird looks and kind of like what, just kind of watching you walk through.
It's a body-shaped bundle
Yeah, it's a body-shaped bundle. They
Right.
do watch.
with
And they
occasional
watch where you're
groans.
walking. They realize you're walking toward the tavern, and that seems to put them more at ease as you're walking toward the tavern.
More controlled environment.
And so they take note, they watch, but they do seem to relax a little bit, seeing your trajectory. As you walk into the tavern, there it seems to be fairly busy for this time of day because it's evening. You guys did this in evening. I don't know why I had morning in my head. So it is lively. You walk into this tavern, it is lively. It's a little bit of a surprise to you, Fix. You knew that there was an underbelly here in Key. I mean, there's an underbelly in every city. That's part of how a city works. And you knew that, but you are taken aback at the size of it. It's like, oh, well, I didn't. And the organization of it. It's like, this is a whole new world here. This is a whole new city. So
A lot of
is
new
lively.
things that I'm learning.
Yeah. So it is very lively in there. And when you walk in, it doesn't take too long for the tavern to kind of quiet down and kind of look at you guys. They don't know you as a half-orc. They haven't seen the other three of you, and Evangeline's still invisible. So
Where's Dornan?
a guy in the back of the tavern who seems to be just sipping an ale or whatever. He's dressed in green leathers. He has no need to be in black. And he stands up. He says, "Who's asking?"
I am.
And I comes with a name.
Yes, he does.
I
Oh, you
focused on
want
him a
my
moment.
name?
Yes, I would like to have your name.
A lot of people would, but you know what? I'm the one who got it.
I focus on
And
him a moment.
I will just laugh. I say,
He's a member.
my name is Forsyth Greentree. Dornan knows who I am.
Forsyth, huh? This is a new form.
Well, we try to keep things lively.
Apparently.
Forsyth tries to keep things lively.
Yes, only him.
We, as in me.
Me as in him with the
All of your
multiple
forms.
personalities.
God,
All of
Schizophrenic,
him.
and so am I.
all right. Well, dare I ask what you're carrying?
Well,
Kate.
it's more of a who than a what, but yeah, we'll discuss that in a place not so public. Thank you very much.
All right then. Shall we?
Yes.
He
Proceed, and I will follow him.
he walks off into.
I still have a free hand.
Yeah. He walks off into a back part of the tavern. Nobody questions that he's walking back there. Everybody, as you start to disappear toward the back of the tavern, you hear everybody start to come back in the tavern. It's, they start to return to whatever
Evangeline,
they were
watch her
doing.
backs.
You walk
They
back
don't.
there.
They don't even see a girl.
Well, they should see Leslin. She's with you.
Oh,
Oh,
that's true.
Leslin, yeah.
Leslin's with you, yeah.
Well, she ain't gonna do anything. So
Yeah, Leslin is doing nothing. She is like frozen in fear and concern, and
she's
like
in an environment she's not used
she
to.
is a completely different environment. Um,
If I saw the fear in her, I would have probably
Used it.
no.
Say something.
I actually
Ease her
would
mind.
have tried to calm her in some way. Just ease her mind that we are going somewhere safe to talk, and there
I had that
won't be any
spell.
harm to you as long as you don't do anything against
Dumb.
us.
Calm emotions would be a great spell
Basically.
to have right now.
right.
Yeah, if I had well, no, I don't have calm emotions anymore.
Me either.
Or on this character. I have it
I
on a
have
different
that.
character.
No, I don't have it either.
Leslin takes your assurances with a grain of salt.
Oh.
The one person she actually does know is not showing her face, and she's
Yeah.
on this travel with a group of people that came in and killed her boss, in essence. Although he's not dead, so she's a little like she's on guard, to say the least. So you walk back through here and you get into this room, and the guy that led you back there, which Forsyth you do recognize is Dornan, actually.
Right.
And he walks. There's a little table there. There's a couple of chairs off to one side. It seems to be a sitting room, a meeting room, kind of all combined, personal area. It seems to be a personal area. This is not a common place for people to go.
Is there like a table in the meeting room?
Yeah.
I'm going to set my load on the table.
Okay.
And then I'm going to unwrap it.
When he sees him, he will kind of get a very quizzical look and then look back to you and say, what is a high priest of the order doing in my place?
Getting a
I'm good.
demotion.
Getting a
Yeah. I'm going to drop
From
my
living to dead.
invisibility.
Oh.
oh dear Lord.
I'm going to
He's
drop
been
my
a bad
invisibility and say he's going to answer some questions.
He's been a bad boy, and we relieved him of his command, so to speak. And we know that he has been negatively affecting your livelihood, and we want to see him answer for his crimes. We had the opportunity to remove him from the plane of existence, but we decided that there are better ways, because there are questions that can be answered by him,
Well, if he's
or with
willing
him, for that
to
matter.
answer them,
He doesn't have to be willing.
No, there are ways, and there are ways.
all right then. Well, is my presence needed for this? I mean, I can stay if I need to.
Only if
Well,
you want to see the show.
Considering the fact that we don't have all the questions, you're going to have some, and the answers even to our questions are going to pertain to you. It probably behooves you to stay. Plus, we could have just taken him out in the woods and questioned him. The fact is we think that this benefits you, especially since while we have ties to this city, it is not necessarily our place of residence. So
It's mine.
Yeah.
He raises an eyebrow
That's
because he
the lie.
recognizes you.
It's also where I'm
But-
from.
I'm from Thrice.
I
You're
live in
from
Thrice.
Thrice.
I'll look at him. I'll say,
No,
this
I'm from
benefits-
Thrice. I live in Key.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
look
from
at him.
out
And
in the
I'll just say, this benefits the organization. This needs to be
Yeah.
done.
We're trying to help you as
Before
well
we
as
go,
ourselves.
before we go too far, though,
There's
there
there's
were
five
a few
people I'm
people
concerned about.
that were brought here by a friend of ours. We want to make sure that they are safe.
And who brought them?
Kosha.
Ah,
She's a
Kosha.
sweet girl.
She's back in Key, huh?
So
At our request.
yes, she's assisting us with a few things.
And Buckley has two.
Buckley.
I
I
hear
don't know
some
Buckley.
sort of like,
But
Like-
Buckley is a big construct. You can't miss
Yeah,
him.
is Alex in the living room?
Is Alex in the living room? No, why?
Because I can hear him.
Wait,
Is-
are
is
you
that
hearing
him?
this?
No,
well, no, I
was
heard
hearing-
Alex as well, and I heard what you
snoring.
were doing, Chuck.
Sorry,
Yeah, I
I'm playing
heard
with
that.
my dice.
Yeah, you're playing with your dice, but
Yeah. You can hear Alex snoring.
I can't, but
I'd have to turn up way high.
So
I,
I would-
don't usually hear him. That's what's really weird.
Used
I
to hear
would
him when
ask-
he played.
Poor guy.
I would ask him to go check and see if he can find Kosha and have her come here.
Yeah, it can be arranged. When you
Yeah,
said
tell her to bring
organization
the charge.
fix, you saw the look of recognition, and he's putting two and two together.
Yeah, have Kosha bring her
Coach-
charges with her.
And Kosha
do
was
that.
sitting here under my command. Or under my
But-
protection.
Is that better?
Very well.
We will tell you
Yes.
if we hear it.
Okay, now.
The only thing I can do next is like put his head in a pillow or something.
Poor guy.
And there are days you wanted to do that.
All right. So yeah, he will say very well. I know someone who can look for her. Matter of fact, I know where she may be. So give me 5 minutes, and
Thank you.
he'll walk
Sure.
out.
Even my doctor calls me patient.
I'll
gonna
start looking over him,
oh.
make sure that he's not critically wounded or anything like that.
He's not bleeding out anymore thanks to the healing, but he definitely is wounded.
Right.
But he's not
That's,
bleeding out anymore.
just want him not to bleed out on us.
I'm gonna
Anything
make
you
sure
wanna
the
do while
gag's
he's
in
gone?
place. I'm gonna
Um,
make sure his gag is in place and that his hands are securely tied.
I'm gonna search him.
All right, you're gonna search him.
yeah, and I'll
'Cause
have
didn't
detect
really have
magic
time to
go
do
in
that.
to make
While
sure
they're
we
doing
identify
that,
anything.
I'm going to talk with Leslin and I'm going to tell her about all of the things that I've discovered
In your
about the
travels.
order in particular.
All right. Some things you tell her she is aware of. Other things that you tell her she's a little shocked about.
And I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna like set up a chair, and once we've done all the searching and stuff, get the guy set up in the chair
Okay.
and tied to it.
All right.
Funnier to have him on the table.
Yeah, but it's easier to work with when he's on a chair.
Okay.
You will notice immediately because, well, Well, no, because it's on the cloak itself. The cloak that he has on him, is it a cloak of many things? Is that what it's called?
That's an interesting one.
A cloak of...
So a cloak of something.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yes. That's what I have. I have a
cloak of
Does it
Coca-Cola.
have
some
does the
things.
Coca-Cola
Oh.
have cocaine in it?
No, not anymore. It's illegal.
But it did when it was originally.
It did when it was originally. Okay, maybe it's not called a cloak of many things. What the heck?
Cloak of
Oh,
or
it
is
might
it
be
a
a
robe of
use-
anything?
It might
Or
be
useful-
usefulness, like
A
robe of
robe of
usefulness.
useful items.
Is that
Useful
it?
items?
Useful items? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have been thinking of the wrong item.
Where you pull
Robe
off a
of
patch and
useful
it
items
becomes
is
a
fun.
ladder.
And it becomes stuff. Yeah.
It's got all kinds of fun tricks.
Is that what it is? Robe of useful items? Is that what it's
Something
called?
like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he is wearing that. He is also wearing a ring of protection, which you guys will recognize. Didn't do him much good.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm having the... Oh, there it is. Robe of useful items. Yes, that's it. A ring of protection, which didn't do him much good. He has a I always say this wrong.
Periapt.
Periapt
Of health?
Health.
Oh,
closure.
oh, that one's nice.
Periapt of loom closure. That's a good
Wound
one.
Closure. And these
I
things
think that's
you
for
will
bleeding heart.
kind of recognize as you're pulling them off. They're common enough that you would recognize what they are. Just not always readily available. And he is wearing not wearing. It's fused to him. In his hand, it's kind of a fingerless glove almost. It is fused into his hand. Is an iron flesh, and it is a glove of consume, which is definitely not anywhere to be found. I have to put that in there.
What does it do?
That is what he used to call forth the nanos to attack Forsyth.
That wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, well,
Forsyth is a
it's
nice
still worth
guy.
But it is fused to his hand.
I squelched the urge to go over there and attempt to rip it off of him.
That would hurt.
What a shame.
Oh, darn. Sucks to be him.
All right. After a little bit of time,
I'll walk over and touch it. You want to see what she'll feel when you rip that spine off of her?
Ooh. Now that sounds better.
the spine is pretty cool. After a little bit of time, Renio is still groggy and barely fighting to become awake, but not there yet.
What about if I throw some water in his face?
If you throw some water in his face, he'll cough. Do you wanna wake him up now?
I think we should wait. Especially if Kosha and the children are coming here. I don't want children to see what we're going to threaten to do to him.
They're
Well,
not
they're
children.
not children.
They're
They're
not quite children.
Oh,
but
that's
they're
right.
adult
adults.
children.
They treat them as children.
They are
Sorry,
younger siblings, but they are adults.
I
Only
keep
two
thinking
of them.
Children. Why?
One of them's older than me.
Older than her.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain. I don't want people outside of us to see what we're going to threaten to do to him.
Yeah.
This stays as close to the vest as possible.
All right. After a short amount of time, Dornan will walk back in Looks like I have someone fetching them now. You want them here, correct?
Not in
Is
the
this the
room.
most private room in this place?
This is the best room in this place. This is where I conduct most of my business. I run this place.
Do you mind if we utilize it?
Of course not.
Then can you please set up another room for them? Make sure that they are comfortable.
Absolutely. I will do so.
Nearby.
Very well. It'll be right here in this tavern.
Wonderful.
And he will leave again to go set up a room.
I think we can wake him up now.
Before he leaves,
Yeah.
I'm going to say you might want to have someone with a kind face bring some liquid refreshment for them to entertain them until we're able to complete our business in here.
I can do that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, they've been through a bit.
I will do that. And he will walk out and he will take care of that. The other three of... Does Leslin notice? No. Wait, no, that should have been with advantage because she is on her guard. Okay, yeah, she will notice. The other three of you can roll me... Sorry, I say other three. Evangeline, Cadeth, and Forsyth, you may roll me a perception or insight if you so choose.
Do I not see this?
Oh, you know this.
Oh, what did I? Okay.
You have no doubt about this.
Okay.
15.
I rolled a 21.
Okay.
I'm away from my dice.
Oh no! Well, you use D&D Beyond, don't you? Or did you give up on the D&D Beyond?
I
Not
didn't bring
rolling
my
good
phone with me.
Oh.
I normally would. I had thought to, but then eschewed that idea, not thinking I'd have to roll anything.
What? All right.
Would you like me
Let's
to roll
see.
for you?
Insight.
Oh no, I'll get it in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, you're better with
On my way
perception.
back now.
Oh, okay.
Just the other end of the house.
Well, depending on if you're going end to end or side to side, it could be a long trip or a short trip.
Or a short one. She has a very long, skinny house.
It's a big house. Let's see. You said insight or
perception. Either one.
perception. Okay, well, we're all perception.
Fuzzy.
Oh, well, we didn't do very well. 16.
Oh, that's not bad.
I
Cadeth
got a
and Forsyth,
15, so
you're both gonna notice and be a little bit like, especially you, Forsyth. You've seen him literally chop off heads, Dornan.
Right.
Like he means business. And you will definitely realize that he is catering. He is definitely kind of, okay, yeah, I'll take care of that for you. Yep. He's definitely catering to a degree, to a large degree, than you've ever really seen him cater before. Evangeline?
like, does he seem worried about us or
No.
or
He doesn't
impressed?
seem worried about you at all.
More impressed?
I mean, a little impressed, but, he's going to,
Considering who we drug in here
yeah, a little.
and
little
who was
impressed,
following
little
behind us?
Yeah.
I got my hairs on my back of my neck standing up.
Evangeline, you notice that he is catering, and he is catering hardcore, especially after Fix said it will benefit the organization.
Uh-huh. And I picked up on this.
Mm-hmm. Fix, you already know this. He's catering because he recognizes, because you know that they know that the leader is around, and he's now recognized that it's you.
Okay.
Those
I would like
hairs,
to
lay
know
back
through
down.
When he, not necessarily when he leaves, but at some point I would just be like, he is a member. As are you guys now, technically. Yeah.
Technically.
Technically speaking.
Though he wouldn't recognize that symbol.
He doesn't recognize the symbol on them. You gave him
No.
something different.
Yep.
Well, and I think it's more hidden on us, isn't it?
It
Or
can
it's on
be.
a well,
I
it's
mean,
on
it
a
can be. It's on a pendant.
pendant.
on a
I
pendant.
probably wouldn't keep it out in the open necessarily for me.
But it was one that Fix designed, so nobody else has seen it.
Yeah.
So, after a little bit of time, he will. I mean, it's going to be a good half an hour or
Oh, good.
so.
Means we have time.
Yeah.
Long enough for a
he's
short
not-
rest.
He's not going to be there for a while. So, anything you want to do while he's gone?
I'm gonna wake up Renee.
Okay.
Give him a few hit points with a healing potion.
All right. Gonna use the healing potion. He will drink it down and wake up.
We've got plenty of those, so to make sure you don't die on us.
Not that you won't die on us.
Okay, to make sure you come back from death. How's that?
Yeah. Until we don't need you to anymore.
But that all depends on what you say and how useful you are.
I just glare at him the whole time.
He avoids you.
And anytime I'm speaking to him, I'm just speaking very matter of fact, as though what I'm saying is the absolute truth.
All right.
I'll kind of give him a little, tap on the cheek, like,
Yeah.
and then I'll walk back and lean against the desk and let Kadath take over.
So, where do we begin?
Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start with
It's a very
Very
think
good place
one
to
of the
start.
one of the more obvious things to ask you about. Why did you think taking Evangeline's family was a good idea?
I never said it was a good idea.
Your actions say otherwise.
Was it your idea?
Come on now, be truthful for a change.
You claim
Want
to
me
be
truthful?
you claim to be of the order of truth. I've seen a lot of, at best, twisted truth come from that order.
I mean, truth is.
In reality, truth
Relative.
is not a subjective thing.
Well,
Truth is truth. When you twist it to your own means, that's not truth any longer.
I would say that my order is more likely to be truthful than yours on average. And I make sure that he can see the raven. The one that's tattooed on my chest. Like, I'm making sure that it's nice and open.
You should see the tattoo on his tushy.
Hey, that's a butterfly,
you?
okay? That won't help us here. The order,
I'm
of
gonna
that
bat-
has totally different meanings.
the order of butterflies. Come on.
Couldn't resist.
Did you,
I'm
did
gonna
you begin-
sit
did you
at the
start out-
table.
Did you start out worshiping Desna? Is that what it is?
I'm gonna sit at the table and I'm gonna pull out the book and the quill.
Okay.
So answer the question. Whose
Why
idea
did you
was
take
it?
him? Yeah, whose idea?
It was my idea.
Then why?
To get her attention.
And
I'm
you,
gonna record.
you
Reneo's
thought getting her
idea.
attention would do what exactly? Because I'm assuming the outcome you got is not the outcome you expected.
No.
You were to send word if you were successful.
Yes, on to that more interesting subject.
Successful with what?
How much of that conversation did you hear?
How much do you want to tell me?
None of it.
How much are you going to tell me?
None of it.
Hmm.
Do you want to make a wager on that?
Oh, let's see. Where was that? Where was his flesh?
His hand.
I'm gonna grab onto where that is.
Ouch.
I'm gonna grab the edges of it, and I'm just gonna start pulling lightly. Not enough to actually hurt him, but for enough for him to realize that I have full intention of ripping it out if he doesn't tell us the truth.
He's gonna wince.
Now, I know who you were talking to, and therefore I know who the message was for. And you see this little bit of pain, and I'm going to start pulling just a little bit, is nothing compared to what's going to happen to her as soon as my friend here gets his hands on her. Because you see, she is, how shall I say, downright evil.
Persona non grata.
Do you know
Yeah, we
what
don't
she
want her to
has in
live.
her basement?
Yes.
And it seems like you might approve of the taking of innocent people's spines.
Yeah, not all of them are innocent.
It doesn't matter if all of them are innocent or not. At least one is not. I guarantee. Actually, at least two. But there's one for sure.
That is
Because she
And
took
it ain't
a
us.
spine just to send a message to us from a farmer.
That is her MO.
And you think this is a good thing.
But it isn't her prerogative.
No, it is.
Here,
And I'll start pulling further.
I
Like
don't think
basically every time he starts holding back, I start pulling.
Beth, I don't think that morality is in his wheelhouse, so I don't think he cares. What I can tell you, sir, is
True.
that I'm going to make anything that she could do to you look like child's play.
Have you ever heard of To the Pain?
It's one of our favorite
Look.
games.
Yeah, right? Great. Do I approve of what she does? No, I do not.
Then why have you not done anything about it? Moreover, why are you working with her?
Oh, we work only, per favor.
And
Personally,
what was the favor?
can't really stand her, but
What was the tit for tat that you had going now?
well, she was gonna aid me in expanding further into Weirfall, where we have not been able to get a foothold.
And in return, what were you to do?
what I was to do was to let her know if Arias Trinson got in the way.
Well, I can tell you this: Arias Trinson is no longer going to be in the way.
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell you that now, would I?
Oh, I'm telling you that now.
Oh, yeah, well, that spell has long not
Shoddy.
been working.
It
Yeah.
was shoddy.
Well,
It was a bad idea too,
stayed long enough.
because it
Absolutely.
was yet another one of our group, our small group, that you directly or indirectly affected.
Oh, well,
See, you've made enemies of basically all four of us directly.
Does he recognize me?
Mhm.
Does he seem to recognize me, or at least where I'm from?
Not
fact,
as much, but
I'll
he did
actually ask
recognize
him.
the raven.
I'll ask him, do you realize who I serve, and who and do you happen to know who I am?
Who you are. Did you take off your disguise?
Yeah.
Okay. Who you are, I do not know. I have seen you before. Who you serve, that's a different story.
Do you recognize this? And I'll pull out my sword. I'll make it appear in my hand right in front of his face.
This is the first time you actually see a little bit of a oh shit look
When it appears
when it
suddenly?
appears. Not even that it appears, but what appears.
Good. Thought that might do at least a little bit. Do you recognize this?
Yeah, I recognize that.
Do you recognize what it means that I am?
Yeah.
And I'll make it disappear. Do you recognize now the error of your ways?
Well,
Or at least realize consequences are potentially worse than those you've already suffered in the last hour?
well, if it means furthering his cause, so be it.
Whose?
Cyric.
Who?
Okay,
Was
I'm
that the
not
Amber Pope?
recognizing that name, but do I
Cyric.
recognize that name?
Was that
Cyric?
the Amber Pope?
No.
Oh,
Was
Because
that one of the other?
now he's brought gods into it.
Oh, which one's Cyric then?
Cyric.
Do I recognize that name then?
You will recognize that name.
I mean, all my
he-
history and religion knowledge.
Yeah,
And-
you will
and-
recognize this name.
Do I?
You will also recognize this name because he is actually a larger deity.
Do I even care?
You don't care. You could care less.
I guess seeing as
It's
Fix
great
is
being
a-
a neutral, you know that.
It's like whatever. I don't care who you serve. You're a jerk.
seeing that Fix is a cleric as well, does he recognize the name?
Um,
I mean, I
The
probably
name-
would have been quizzing or giving Fix a lot of knowledge about gods over time,
over
but
time, yeah, you will recognize the name. You might be able to recall about it through just Kadeth and Evangeline talking gods and what you've read maybe in Shaji and things like that, because he is a rather large deity. He is the god of lies, trickery, and strife.
That's right.
so
Where have I seen that before?
So you don't truly serve truth.
I mean, for real, we have an order of. I'm talking among people who obviously don't believe anything. Even you. He looks at Evangeline. The order of truth.
And what's her name is standing right there. So
Oh, yeah, that's true.
although
Leslie's standing
one
there,
thing
she's
I would
just
have
like,
one thing I would have done, I meant to mention this. One thing I would have done was have her actually stand out of his direct vision.
okay,
Told her to stand out of his vision
I-
so that
you
he's
stand away.
not
Yeah.
gonna
He's
keep things
definitely
back
looking
because
at you
she's
guys.
there.
Yeah, he doesn't even. He's not looking around the room to see who all's there. He just assumes it's just the four of you. Failure on his part probably, but you know when you come back from the dead, it's kind of the order of truth. I mean, when you really look at it, they present themselves as a religion, and this much you do know: they hold religious ceremonies and orders, and when the Amber Pope speaks, he speaks as if he's giving a service. You know, like for a society that doesn't really believe in gods, why on earth, without trickery, or the reason being trickery, why on earth would we present ourselves as a religion other than for trickery?
There are many reasons. For example, my order. We don't need any trickery. We may not be as big as you,
Oh,
but
I'm not saying everybody in the Order of Truth follows Cyric. I mean, believe me, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one.
those who would follow lies tend to cause imbalance.
There's always imbalance.
As
True.
I'm penning and writing in the book, when I write that name in the book,
Mm-hmm.
does anything come forth about? Does anything come out of that?
You will, when you pen across there, you will see what comes up as an image. The image is of. Let me get to my picture. The image is of a starry sky. And in it, there are clouds moving across the cloudy sky where you see it looks like there is light behind the clouds, but you can't really see. You're assuming it's probably the moon. But it is obscured. Um, and in that, as you concentrate on his name, it'll say you see this image that it's obscured, and it says he who obscures things, he who hides.
So
I will just grin a little and I will
You
look
do have
at
the telepathy if you want to communicate.
Reneo and half smirk. And if he makes eye contact with me, I will hold his gaze as long as possible.
All right. He will hold your gaze for quite some time. before looking away at one of the other three.
I want to roll an insight.
All right.
I don't know if it'll work. My insight sucks.
Mm.
It sucks. I rolled a 3. I wasn't.
That ain't gonna do it.
No, I wasn't expecting anything, but I thought I'd give it a shot.
He does not reveal anything.
To you.
In the law, the momentary law of the conversation, before he, or as I see that he's starting to avert his gaze, I will ask him, what is it about me that you could not let go?
Hindsight is always gives better understanding. Understanding now who you travel with. Kind of side glances to Death. There were mysteries about you. Then he glances at the Book of Quill.
And now you know.
And now I know.
There are more than one of us who have been chosen by someone.
Well, technically, we've all been chosen.
Well, I wasn't going to go into specifics.
I was going to say, who raised an eyebrow at that?
There are more than one of us who have been directly chosen by an individual god.
And through
However,
the telepathic link, I would say, I think that's all of us. Like Forsyth got his little bauble that he cleared the
Well, you
lake
know.
with, and
I wasn't going to reveal to him how many of us, just more than one of us.
that's why I did it telepathically.
Yeah, I would be responding telepathically, but out loud I'll say, and all of us as a group have been chosen by the gods to restore certain things to the way they should be, and the way they once were.
Do you know what organization or why? Do you know why Arias was being monitored?
I mean, I have my suspicions.
Well, let's brainstorm. What do you think they are?
I removed the quill from the page.
There is something about Arias that unsettles Lady Guerra.
Well, that's because that woman is a piece of filth.
There's
That's
something
because-
about me that unsettles
That's
her.
because
What's the
Arias
difference?
Trinston is a true lady, unlike Gara.
Gira is a funeral waiting to happen.
Those who are good
But-
tend to unsettle those who aren't.
And I didn't ask you what that person's issue was. I asked what your suspicions were. Do we need to clean the cobwebs out of your ears?
No, please.
Can I help?
I want to do it this
Turn into an
time.
informant.
I didn't get to hit him much.
I want to hit him this time.
Well, I guess
I'm
I did
really
give him
good
the
at it.
killing blow.
You hit him. I think you hit him most. All I did was like hold him there for you.
I hit him
Like-
once. No, twice. I hit him twice.
I
I
hit him
like
twice
hitting.
in one turn.
I like hitting bad people.
So what are your
All
suspicions?
right, look. I can tell you what I know and what I can assume.
Please
Start with
do.
what you know.
As he
He-
starts
he-
speaking,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And I've still
And I'm
got a hand on his hand.
I'm going to do that at 5th level.
Okay. Does it give anything extra for casting it higher, or you
I
just
don't
need to
know.
cast it higher?
I'm trying to find. I guess I could just cast it at the regular level. I can't find
Yeah,
anything
I'm
that says.
I'm not sure that it gives you anything extra.
Then why
I
does it
don't
have it
think
at
it
the other
does.
levels? I don't understand that. Well, anyway.
Because you can
Because
use
you
a higher
can,
level
you can
spell
use the higher
slot.
slot.
Yeah, but you can do that
Also-
with any spell. Most of them don't do that.
Well, that's
Right.
true.
Also,
but,
it could be counterspelled.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
then
yeah,
actually,
that too.
I'm going to use it versus casting it
Okay.
because I have it as a use.
Yeah.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
with the
Yeah, for your
Yeah.
one of your abilities. Yeah, you can do
Right. So it's a Wisdom
All right.
15 saving throw. I'm sure he can pass that, but
that. Mhm.
unless Jody's rolling.
Nope, I actually rolled pretty good.
Yeah.
Surface thoughts, though, you will get those immediately.
Yeah.
Surface thoughts, he's bouncing between do I share, do I not share, and how this would affect him. How would it affect
All
him?
right. Okay.
Death is not on the table for him. Like, he doesn't even. It's kind of one of those things that if it happens, it happens. That's you get that surface thought across his head. If it happens, it happens. It's like it's neither here nor there to him. If he dies, he dies. So he's not concerned about his own life, to be fair. And but you do get like, do I share as he's contemplating, what he knows about Arias? Should he share or should he not share? And eventually, y'all see this come across his face. He just kind of smirks and shrugs a little bit, like, I guess no skin off my back is his conclusion. He will share Arias Trenson is, in fact, a leader of an organization. This is something you all know. He'll ask, do you know of the Jagged Dream?
Yes.
Of course.
Well, with she as their leader, and having a Drake on her side, she knows that Arias has reaches far beyond her own, actually, and the best way to watch your back is to watch the one that would be controlling those that watch your back.
I would like to
I
make
didn't
one
quite say
correction
that
to your
right.
statement. Arias Trinston is not the leader of this organization.
Well, this is news to me.
It's news to most
Guess
people.
you're not so much into truth, then that's what happens. Now, listen. Well, I guess Forsyth, would you tell us through the link what his surface thoughts were?
Yeah, I would tell you.
You feel sudden resistance to your. Like,
Yeah. He's got no worries about dying. He's just wondering whether or not it's worth his while to tell us.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm not going to kill you. And sadly, I'm not going to ask Kadath to kill you. What I will do.
I
is
haven't
will-
decided though.
I will use my considerable influence to place you in a town, in a position where you are no more than a pauper lucky to get a copper's worth of food a week. And I will make sure that there are people in place to keep you at that station. You will live
And
on the
you
street.
won't be using any magic that requires the use of your hands or a tongue.
And I will make sure that that is where you stay. And when you get old, I will make sure that you are kept healthy enough so that you could live in that squalor
Lovely.
for as long as I live.
While they're talking,
hmm
I'm going to write the book. I'm going to see if I can find out how to remove nanites.
Good thinking.
Okay. Um,
An anti-nanite. Oh,
An anti-nanite.
Anti-nanite.
My suggestion is an axe, but
it's
Yeah.
a nanite vaccine. Oh,
Removing nanites. It does actually come back with, I mean, essentially like an anti-nanite. There is a recipe, and there is,
chocolate chip
I mean,
cookies.
it looks like a recipe. And no, the chocolate chip cookies was to help you see.
Oh, that's right.
They were really good. I could go for some more.
you want
But
real truth?
right, you want real
Eat the
truth?
chocolate chip
Eat a
cookies.
cookie.
Eat a cookie.
Can't go wrong there.
Eat a cookie, you'll feel better.
It is a recipe, and there are some herbs and plants. You know, it like calls for the fruit of a carnivorous plant that can only be found in the Sicilian jungle. It calls for it's a plethora of items from various places across the steadfast, a couple of which have some really old names that you're like, I think that's what this means, but I don't know. You know, just kind of from reading, it kind of seems familiar, but you're not 100% sure that that is actually what it's talking about. And but from all of this, it gives you the directions, you know, mashing them down, how long you need to boil them, all of it looks like it's an extensive type of recipe, but it is to be used either, it can be used either internally or externally, depending on what kind of nanites you need to be removed.
Put some in a bomb, throw the bomb at her.
Yeah.
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Ooh, slip it in her food.
Slip it in her food.
Here, drink this.
Telepathically, I'm going to say, one question he has not yet answered. Who's he working for?
Oh, good question. So,
Reneo, the possible popper.
Or who they are working for?
Who are you guys working for?
What do you mean by you guys?
Who are you taking orders from?
I take orders from Sirik.
No, you don't.
Do you or do
But
you
nice
not
try.
take orders from your god? He kind of looks at the cog.
I do not.
Ask
My God
him
does
why.
not order me to do things.
Ask him why his god is having him answer to her.
By the way, that detect thoughts lasts for a full minute.
Okay, you're only going to get surface thoughts.
That's okay. I'm just wanting
okay.
to know if he's telling
still,
the truth.
was there any reaction when we talked about removing his hands and tongue and making him live for a long time?
As a popper.
I wasn't getting anything from him.
Yeah, you kind of get that. So be it. You know, like
Something seems to be more important to him.
it's like whatever.
He
That's
believes
the
when
way
he
it's
leaves
gotta
this
go.
world, he'll go be with Cyric.
Yeah.
But that was a lie
Wonder.
too.
It's hard to tell what's truth and what's lie. Although you really should just bank on everything being a lie. But
I was gonna say, what do you expect when you serve a god of lies and trickery? You think they're gonna tell you the truth?
only if it's fitting.
Through,
Only if you're less likely to believe the truth.
I'll look at. Well, I won't look at her, but through the link, Evangeline, your book, is it only of arcane origin?
I don't know. It just gave you a recipe for a mighty powerful
Potion.
antitoxin, basically.
I will tell telepathically. I will respond. I do not believe so. I believe it's all inclusive of all knowledge.
Do you think it would have the knowledge of Zone of Truth?
I will look at my book and I will put the quill to the paper and I'll concentrate on Zone of Truth and I'll start writing that in,
Mm-hmm.
but looking to recall.
There's you kind of start to write it in and it just soaks into the paper. Nothing comes to the forefront. It's not in the book.
It doesn't appear to be in the book. Spells are, and I will tell him spells are consumed when used from the book.
I think that everything he's saying is a lie.
Duh.
I think most things are, but not everything.
Torture and threat of death and other things is ineffective. So I'll take a step to the door and pop my head out. Is there anyone there?
You see a couple of people kind of moving up and down the hallway. They seem to be going in and out of a room, probably maybe 3 rooms down. Dornan had it within his thoughts that if you decided to torture him like he would, that you probably didn't want these people to hear that. So he put them in a
Didn't
room
want them right
further
next door.
down.
Probably a good idea.
Before we call anybody in, though.
Oh, no one's coming in, but yes.
Okay. I did want to do one thing.
Oh, well, real quick, I would just motion one of them that we're leaving and say, can you let Dornan know that I would like a scroll of Zone of Truth? Post haste.
Absolutely. He told us anything you need.
And then I will pop back in.
All right.
I want to see, because I know she's been quiet this whole time. But I'm curious what Leslin thinks at this point. So I'm going to basically at this point finally look over his shoulder or wherever it is she's standing behind him. Look at her and say, what do you think of all this? You've heard a lot today, both from us and him.
I'm thinking I still processing for not promoting any gods, that there is no god. Yet he serves one?
Lie number 1.
So who is the Amber Pope?
That's a good question.
Who is the Amber Pope? I look at Reneo.
And was there any
Renio.
reaction from him when she spoke?
There was a little bit of a
Was there an oh crap?
disgruntled.
Oh crap. Well, crap.
Yeah, it's kind of a well crap. A little bit of anger that somebody else from the Order of Truth, who is actually, Evangeline, you know, is respected among the Order of Truth, even though she is of low rank.
Figured she might be.
She's an influencer.
She is an influencer.
And a good influence. Hopefully.
Um, Renee will just kind of like, Durin at the 6th is the Amber Pope. He runs the order.
Who is that?
Does he really?
Well, do people who have the front of power always have the power?
Rarely.
Who
So
has
he's
the
merely
power?
a figurehead.
I mean, he comes up with a few good ideas.
And you implement his good ideas?
Yeah,
The
And if they're
lowest
not good
servant.
ideas, you implement his own? Your own?
usually.
Even the lowest servant can come up with good ideas. It doesn't mean they have any power.
So do you have the majority of control in the order?
I mean, as much control as one can, I suppose.
I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out a little flea.
A little flea.
Because I'm angry.
Not the fleas. Once you get an infestation, they don't go away.
I'm going to throw an infestation of fleas on his head.
Ouch.
Please, not
Oh, that's annoying.
He shakes his head. Tup, tup, tup.
Just
I
because.
don't know what it does.
No. Let's
No
see.
clue.
Fighting fleas for
Biting fleas.
a while.
Leslin will kind of
It
scream and jump
sucks.
back.
For 4 points of damage.
Okay. Still alive.
I have come to truly dislike you over these past months. You have manipulated and lied to me this whole time. Yeah. You already admit you serve a god of lies and deception.
Yeah.
You're not to be believed.
Yeah.
And your lie of no gods
Wow.
is the biggest lie of all, especially since you serve one.
I
And
mean,
just so you know, I didn't choose to serve a god until after a god chose me to serve him.
He chose her in a big way. You see, when I told you that we serve many of the gods, I was not being untruthful, because they chose us to fulfill a task. But it wasn't just any, it was most. I'm guessing the one you serve was one of the few dissenters.
one
I
of
don't know
5?
for sure.
One
What
of
was that?
5.
1 of 5?
One of 5.
Do I know who the other 4 would be?
Mm,
With
You've
do-
got a pretty good guess, being that you killed one of the champions already.
True.
You got a pretty good guess that Aro was one of them.
Auril.
Yeah, Aurio.
Oral.
Aro. She was the one at the Frozen Temple.
I would tell him, yes, one of those, along with Oral, who we've already taken care of her champion.
It quite possibly you've heard of Lara. I think it's actually Lara.
Lara.
And you've heard of her. I mean, you don't know if she's one of the defectors per se, because you don't know how old that deal
Right.
was made, because you do know about Philethus.
Well, but there's also, well, I don't think what's his name was part of it, right? The one from the forest.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know. Maybe he was around enough to build the forest cities, but he didn't seem to have
They seem to be
any
a loner,
larger
right?
hand. Yeah, he seemed to be very local.
Yeah. So there are those who have attempted to thwart us, like yourself.
I will telepathically ask, should we mention Valsharoon?
Sure. Another was Valsharoon.
Oh yeah, you have a pretty good idea that probably Velsharoon thwarted it in some manner.
You may have heard of Valsharoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a problem at the moment.
Yeah, make him look at that orb. Oh.
No,
No, don't.
No, don't.
No,
Yes, do.
I'll take a
Don't listen to Rhonda.
Never have.
I'll take a moment and focus on the tattoo and reach out to Phileathus.
Oh, Phil. Oh,
Oh, Phil.
Biddy
No.
boy.
Philly boy.
Philly.
I want so bad you rang.
It's our butler, Phil. Oh, it's time to come buttle. Oh,
He'll say yes.
Do you know who Reneo is, right?
Yes.
You know many things. Do you know who he worships?
Yes.
Would you please tell me?
Everything about the man screams Cyric.
In your experience, what do worshippers of Cyric actually fear?
Exposure.
we can do that.
Mwahaha.
Usable. That is usable.
Do you know what me and my group have been tasked with?
I have an idea.
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Good to know. Glad you don't know it. Something you don't know. Wahahaha.
One of the best things I ever learned from a previous employer. She'd get a call from a salesperson she didn't want to talk to. She'd say, "Thank you for thinking of me. Goodbye," and hang up.
no.
Real
Um,
polite.
I have an idea.
Perhaps we may need to have a discussion at some point. But
What's
right
your
now
idea
I'm
to death?
dealing with this. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay.
But first, I'm wondering if we should take a break.
Yes, it
Ah.
is 8
And then-
o'clock.
Then do my
Let's-
idea.
Let's take a brief break. Yeah, I'm glad you guys pay attention to that because I'll just keep going unless I personally have to take a break. So
I've just been
Break.
munching this whole time, so
Nice
I'm
Break
not
it
paying
is.
attention.
all right, we'll be back in what 10?
About 10.
5:10.
Okay, about 10.
halfway
Hello.
across the room.
Hello.
And we're back.
All right, and we're back. So, in the underbelly of Key, in a tavern, in Dornan's tavern that runs the underbelly of Key, you have Reneo that you are questioning.
So I'm gonna.
That's okay. I'm not a rainbow type.
Well, I'm assuming Fix that you would share what Cleithus told you.
Yes.
Okay. After that, I'm gonna chat over the telepathic link between us. I have an idea for exposing him without also hurting the Order of Truth, which I believe still has redeeming qualities and can be potentially a good thing if led properly by someone who does believe in truth. If we can take him there with what's her name, Leslin?
Yes.
Yeah, with Leslin's help, and get him in front of their entire council or whatever they call it. In fact, in front of their council and all their members, as many as we can anyway. And cast the zone of truth on him there, and essentially force him to tell them all the things that he told us in front of everyone at the Order.
At the end of the day, do you think he will care if the Order of Truth knows?
I think so, because even though Leslin knows, the effects of his lies will take much longer to be sorted out and repaired if he doesn't reveal the lies himself. Because there will always be that small doubt with some people as to whether she came back and told the truth.
Perhaps. Another option is that we can threaten to make it so that he could never lie again.
And if we can do that, even better. Although I would still like to do that for the sake of the Order of Truth, to have him tell them the lies. But if we can make it permanent, all the better. Do we know of a way to do that?
Well,
Is there something we could do with with something like nanites that would cause him to permanently only tell the truth? Or through a spell?
at this point, Fix will reach into his non-evil bag of holding.
The other one.
Yes, and start pulling out his forge, and over the link say, "Well, my God is the holy maker of all things. Perhaps I can figure something out." And then I'll go over and I'll start measuring like his neck and his head, and getting measurements off of him.
Measure his nose.
He's like,
Measure his nose. He might
Maybe
grow.
do it as a collar.
Yeah, the collar can be hidden by a scarf. I'm thinking more like a headband.
As long as it's permanently attached.
Oh yes, fused with his flesh.
So maybe maybe a living flesh headband that has
Well,
essentially a cone of truth placed on it?
In my
Maybe.
experience and my knowledge of Numenera, and
I mean, you can create them, right? Or modify them.
might be a good time to practice some of my new things.
Even better.
I will consult my book and my knowledge of Numenera, my nanites that I've been studying,
Mm-hmm. Okay, but
and my
nanites.
wizardry that I'm working on to hold on.
Enchant.
Rhonda had a enchant. Rhonda had a
Okay.
senior moment.
Lovely.
That I'm
Okay.
picking up.
Mm-hmm.
We could see what we could do.
Why don't we knock him out for the moment so that we can speak more openly with Leslin? More easily, at least.
Well, we can all communicate wherever we go.
Right.
I
But
say that we just take her. I do not trust him to be knocked out. He could
Okay.
just fake it. I think that one of us should stay with him, and the others can take Leslin to another room.
I'll stay.
that works.
I think he's more afraid of me.
I know he's afraid of me. Showing him my sword was enough. I didn't even have to attempt to intimidate him.
Yeah, but I think you participate
could
more
see it in my
the,
eyes,
conversation.
around
You
his
bring more
eyes.
to the table.
Yeah. That'll work. Maybe we can take him down with the family while we check on them, or take her
Check
down
on
with
my
the family
book.
while we check on them.
Yeah.
I have a
that.
book. It's called The Papacy and History of the Order of Truth. Just in case I
do.
forgot something.
Send Kosha up here to help me.
Okay.
We'll do.
Or she might be beneficial to the conversation down there too, but up to you.
If we're gonna check in on the family and stuff, I don't think we need her necessarily with us, so
All right.
we can send her to you.
Right. Good to have backup.
Yeah.
Especially someone that quick with a knife.
Just keep him alive.
Right. We can do that.
Dang it.
He's more
One
used to us
caveat.
alive. And actually, I'll say that out loud as I start walking out the door. Just keep him alive. He's more used to us alive.
I can always bring him back.
True. Just don't kill him so many times that you run out of spells.
Oh, yeah. Right. We'll keep track of that. All said out loud, of course.
Yeah, because death is one thing. Keep dying. Dying over and over. That's a little different.
Dying. All right.
So I guess we'll go down the hall to where the family is and take Leslin with us.
Okay. You tell Leslin to follow.
Yeah.
All right. She will follow.
And
You
we'll
had
get
down
to
They
send
open the
Kosha
door,
back.
a little wind goes.
All right. Oh, still have
Druid craft.
There for a second, I thought we were going to get you back there.
Yep. No video.
No video.
I'm working on it.
And mine seems to be flickering and acting
Yeah,
up.
yours
so
is
Yours
I'm
is
flickering.
flickering.
I don't know what's going on with it.
I mean, it's a cheap
It's-
Chinese knockoff, so
and it's old.
I've had it for 5 years, I think.
Maybe more.
No, not
no,
more.
that's about right.
About 5 years.
So, all right. So you head down the hall. Leslin is following. She still seems to be processing everything. You head to the room that the couple of people that you saw kind of heading down the hall had entered into. And as you walk in, you see your family kind of just sitting back. There's some comfortable chairs in there. They don't look like they actually belong in there, but it seems like it's been set up to be more comfortable. And you do see your family. You do see there's a table kind of off to the side with a spread of food and some drinks. And you will see Dornan kind of chatting with Kosha, just catching up kind of thing. And when you guys walk in, you will notice that Dornan does have a scroll in his hand. And he looks up and says, he hands out the scroll to you, Fix, because I believe it was you that asked for it.
Thank you.
The scroll. I just didn't want to interrupt.
Probably wise. Kosha, would you mind going down and assisting Forsyth in babysitting?
I'll walk over to my parents and give them a hug.
They will hug you in return with
I'm
quizzical
supposing Buckley is
expressions.
there too,
Yes, Buckley's standing in the corner.
with quizzical expressions.
Yeah. They kind of look at you and they're like, what is going on?
So many things.
We were told you were in trouble and you needed to come back.
That was a lie.
More lies.
I am not in trouble.
Hey, he's back.
Hey.
Yay. I will tell them that things that I learned in the Order of Truth were not true. The number one thing being that there are no gods, or that the gods are dead. They are not. I've encountered several. And I have been selected by one to serve him. I'll pull out the book and the quill because it's hard to explain. I'll open it up. And I'll see if I can recall in this book any of the conversations that, or any of the things that Denier called me to.
You will see it shimmer and kind of start to show keeper of knowledge, recorder of truth, things of kind of a list of things of that nature that are not only callings but could also be used as something like titles and things of that nature, which is kind of strikes you as odd. Your parents kind of look at the book and kind of squish their eyebrows.
And then I asked Denier to allow them to see this one page.
Oh. It becomes a little darker for you. It starts to turn into almost what looks like ink. And they begin to see the words. And they so this is this Numenera? Is this
I will smile and I will tell them, not exactly. This is of God, of this God.
Interesting. You can see that they're trying to,
Process.
they grew up without gods. There's been
I-
no gods in this world for a
I
couple
know.
of ages.
I know exactly how you feel. And I'll shut the book and I'll put it away and I'll look at my parents and I'll tell them, I felt the same way when we first discovered the sword. And I'll look at Kadeth, that Kadeth carries. It is from his god.
I'll make it appear in my hand.
They will kind of take a look at it. Interesting. How many of these? They pause for a word, then they decide to fall on artifact. Do you possess?
More than we want to.
Interesting. You can tell that they're going through the logical process that you grew up knowing.
And it all began when the Order of Truth sent me on a mission.
Boy, was that a bad idea for them.
To Hidden Duresh. To investigate some odd ichor that affected a person who they brought to the Durkal. From that point, I will tell them, from that point, we ended up in an arena surrounded by gods who have sent us on a mission. I will sit down on a chair and motion for them to sit down.
They will follow. They're listening.
And then I will just explain to them simply, the world is changing. There are gods, they are alive, and they're returning. There are also evil gods that we're going to try to get rid of.
They listen and they nod. They're processing. They're taking it all in.
And then I'll explain to them that in the process of this, we've made some enemies that may put them in harm's way. I will ask about my eldest brother and sister, and if they know where they are and what they are doing.
To the best of our knowledge, they are at home with their own families. Didn't you say they were both married?
The
and
two
had
oldest
families
ones.
of their own?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're at home with their own families.
Well, obviously, Renio did not feel it was necessary to bring them in at this point. Or at
Well,
least I don't believe so.
we were asked, being where you still live, being your parents and these of your siblings still live with us, we were asked to come to the Dirk Hall so that when you came, we would be there for support and guidance.
That too was not the truth. You were brought there to draw me back. because they do not want me to be out of their control. I'll go on to explain that Reneo himself serves a god that's not a good god.
Okay. It was your father that served in the order?
Yep.
Okay. Your father seems to be having a harder time kind of grabbing hold of this. He grew up, he worked for them, he would openly drop everything upon their calling. Obviously, they went to the dirt call. Your mother is much more fast at grasping this.
I will look at my father and look at him, and I'll tell him, not everybody at the order is bad. And I'll look at Leslin. I think that some of them might be more open. And since we're on the topic, I know that the teachings are that at the order are those that are not like us, should be outcast. Those referred to as abhuman. They are good people.
Some of them.
Just like there are bad people that are among us, there are plenty of good people among them as well.
Exactly.
Not everything that the Order of Truth has taught us is factual. They want the Numenera of this world for their own gain. It is not for the good of all people.
Your father will. He kind of takes that in, and he says, sounds like there is possible insurgence into the Order of Truth from the Convergence.
What do I know about the Convergence?
Yeah, me too.
The Convergence? Where is my book? What did I do with it? There it is. The Convergence is very much like the Order of Truth. They hunt out Numenera. But they do hunt out Numenera more like a thief hunts out gold. They are they keep what they find for themselves, to give themselves power, to give themselves influence. Members of the Convergence will use any means necessary. They are ruthless. They use coercion, deceit, and violence to get what they want. They do not allow anything to stand in their way. They are a small group.
Sounds like someone we know.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're a small group comparatively as to the Order of Truth. I would liken them to maybe the size of something like the Order of Balance or the Order of the Third Eye, although I think they are smaller than the Convergence. but they're a small group. They're definitely smaller than the Order of Truth. But because they both hunt out Numenera, it's kind of the opposite of what the Order of Truth, well, at least openly, stands for. There he went again.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I just getting up to take my plates into the kitchen.
Oh, okay. I was like, your camera's just not being helpful today.
I will look at Leslin. What are your thoughts on what my father has said about possible interlopers into the Order of Truth?
Leslin will kind of nod her head. She will say, that would not surprise me. The Order of Truth is large across several cities, and continuously trying to expand upon others. It would not surprise me if some, if not many, to be fair, have seen the power of Numenera and want it for themselves. It takes somebody quite reserved and honorable to see that kind of power and not want it for themselves. Or at least want to control it in some manner. Who gets what when?
I will look at my family and say, do you trust me?
Of course. Edric will say, well, you didn't listen to me the last time.
I will smile at him and go, because you were wrong.
Why would I listen to you?
I will look at Leslin and I will say, do you trust me?
I am beginning to understand. And you have never lied to me. I have no reason to not trust you.
And trust me on this. I'm going to pull the despoiler out of my pocket. And I'll show it to Leslin.
Do you know what this is?
I do. Do you?
I mean, I see the buttons. I would have to study it to know exactly what it is. It would be faster if you just told me.
Could always show her, but no, never mind.
I retrieved this from I don't remember her name.
Lady Vount.
Lady Vount in Bowreg.
I can't remember other names, but I remember hers. Okay.
Before her demise.
Okay. It's yes, it does look like the scepter that she would use or that she had. I didn't realize it had a use.
She used it to manipulate people's physical abilities and keep them under her control.
It's probably a good thing you kept it with you then.
You can only imagine what would have been done with it if you had turned it into the order, knowing what we know now.
Yeah, this is something that you do not want in the hands of those such as Reneo.
This is why it is important that there be a restructure of the order of things in the order.
Indeed. Speaking of which, you did ask to call for a meeting, right?
Yes.
Oh.
And that meeting may be more important knowing what we know than we thought when we initially asked for it. And we have a way of making it even more revealing.
How much time will it take to set up this meeting?
I mean, some of them are out of town. It could take a few days. How much?
Is that enough time for you to do what you need to do?
I had an idea that may just expedite this. It's going to be blasphemy to God, but perhaps our solution is not in a device, and not in a spell either, which she could possibly resist. We know somebody who has the power to compel others with just her voice. We could ask her to compel him
We
to
do.
forever speak nothing but the truth.
I think in this case she may be willing to do so.
Well, Cadet, do you still have a contact with her?
I can.
My
I should
sister
be able to
should
get
still be there.
That's true.
True, and you can contact your sister immediately.
Yes, I could contact her immediately.
True, you have enough connection with her.
No, 24 hours.
You haven't used that in a while.
All right. So the question is, who do I want to annoy more, my sister or
Or your girlfriend? I mean,
we just went on 2 dates. It's not yet official.
still might be worth with her at least, because then you can keep contact while we're arranging things. But I do like that idea. And it would be much quicker.
Very well. I'll take a deep breath, and I will use the circlet to connect with the girl that I forgot whose name.
Nope, not a girlfriend. Cybella.
Fix would remember. Joe, not so much.
And if the
Definitely
people
was only 2 dates.
What
I
was
forgot
her name?
name.
and we know they have somebody who can teleport there, right? The one old lady.
Yep. And
Can
we
do
can
it.
get a teleport there as well.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe Finnell would like to take a trip.
Well, I mean, they could what I mean is she can teleport here quickly.
Mhm.
Oh, you want to have her come? Oh, yeah, that's probably a better idea.
That way we don't have to take him.
Yeah.
I can't remember the gal's name.
Joyve.
Joyve, that's
yeah.
it.
Joyve.
What was the girl's name?
Zybella.
Zybella, yes. Okay. Then I will use the circlet to connect to Zybella.
Okay. You will feel the connection take hold.
I hope all is well in your town.
She will respond. All is coming along nicely.
And my sister's helpful.
Very.
Is
We've
she
been,
there?
like, in the room with me now?
Oh yes.
No.
Okay.
Good. Didn't want to talk to her anyways.
Talk.
Good.
I was thinking, oh, good, then talk dirty to me.
Oh Lord. This is all telepathic, so it could still do anything.
Move the imagery.
Yeah, but even if she blushes, your sister's not there to notice. So
That's true too.
Moore was going to ask a more personal question, but either way. Can she be called upon?
Yeah, easily.
Well, first, let us talk, and then, well, as you know, and I'm sorry I had to use this, but we have 24 hours of connection.
I don't mind.
Those around him would see Fix get a bit of a smile on his face.
Oh.
well, I guess he got a hold of her.
Neither do I. I have a couple favors to ask of you.
Will do my best to fulfill them.
First, and probably the easiest, will be that I need you to come to Key.
To Key.
Yes.
I have never been to Key, but I know Joy Bay has.
And she can bring you here. And when you're here, we can set up another date.
Well, that I don't mind, but I have a feeling you're not calling me to Key for just a date.
No, unfortunately not. I need you to use your gift.
You want me to use my gift.
Sadly, it is the best course of action that we have.
Dare I ask the situation, or do you wish for it to wait until I arrive?
I can tell you now, it's not like any could overhear our conversation.
This is true.
I'd give her the lowdown on Reneo and the Order of Truth and everything.
Okay.
And I need you to compel him to speak the truth and only the truth. As long as the world continues to be in existence.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
I was going to say, don't
I
limit it
love
to
how
his
you
life
didn't
because we
limit
might
to
kill
death.
him.
Yep.
Considering he serves an evil god.
And we might kill him and,
Yep.
want him to keep telling the truth if we kill him and bring him back, too.
You will feel her emotions kind of rise because that type of manipulation is what she lived through. And
I'm sorry. When he feels that, I'd be like, I'm very sorry to have to ask this of you.
no, I will do this. The less of those type of people that we have to worry about, the better that society shall be.
Agreed.
When do you need me there?
As soon as possible.
Well, I will go speak with Joy Bay post haste. Is there
And bring my sister if you would.
Okay.
I'll take a moment and look at Kadath. Is anyone there from your order still that you would like to bring?
I'm not sure who would be there at the moment.
You're pretty sure Erwin is still there. The last time you spoke with Erwin, he said he'd contact you in the morning when he was in a safe place.
That's true. Yes, if they could just bring Erwin, since I wanted to speak to him anyways, it would make things much easier.
Okay.
Since they're coming anyways.
And bring Erwin as well.
Okay.
When you speak with Joy Bay, find out exactly where you will be coming in and give me a half hour to get escort in place.
And I'd suspect they could go to the Order of Balance here. In that case.
I don't know where Joy Bay has been,
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
all
why.
whether she knows it or not.
All depends
Yeah.
on her. Or how well Erwin can describe it.
Yeah. Of course, Erwin can just cast it himself at that point.
Well, I don't know if Erwin has it or not.
Oh, I thought he teleported us once.
He may have just had somebody else teleport him.
Oh, okay.
Meryl teleported.
Oh,
you.
Meryl did it. Okay.
Yeah, Meryl did the teleportation.
Okay. Well,
All right. She says, I will do that. Give me. She chuckles. A minute.
Mhm. I'll smirk.
And she'll kind of ignore you for a little while unless you say anything.
Nope. We'll go back to. I'll switch to channel 2 and talk to
Channel
the.
All right. Anything in the meantime you wish to do while you're in the room with Reneo? He's smirking, but I don't.
We already looted him.
Yeah, he's already been looted.
although his flesh is still there in his hand.
That's true. You'd have to
Slightly
go off
torn
the
away, but
flesh.
not fully.
So is there anything you want to do, Senior, while you and Kosha are watching Reneo? Or just watch Reneo?
Just going to watch him very,
Okay.
very carefully and
Okay.
prepare to pounce if I need to. Changing on the
Literally?
way.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. After about, 45 minutes or so, Cybella will get back with you and let you know that Joy Bay knows of the square, the main square in the upper portion of Key, where she has teleported into before to hold audience with council or nobles, leaders of the city, for various purposes. Joy Bay is often the ambassador for anything that may be needed in the forest, as she is human.
Okay. I will look to Dornan. Dornan,
Yes.
I need safe escort and passage to pick up a group that will be teleporting into the square. I need the square cleared so that their arrival is unnoticed.
Okay. You could tell it's like, okay, this is going to be...
It's going to take a little bit of work.
Take a little bit of work, but okay. We'll get it
Not,
done.
not something
You
they
have-
can't do.
Will a pterodactyl help?
How long do you have? Or how long do you need?
We can be there within the hour.
And to get this set up?
Oh,
Quicker is better.
probably 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So an hour and a half.
Okay.
All right.
So an hour and a half total?
An
Or
We
hour-
just
got
30 minutes?
45 minutes. Oh.
30 minutes.
30
It'll take
minutes?
me 30 minutes to clear that square.
And so they should teleport in 32 minutes.
In 32 minutes, yes. Yes.
like he's probably like, what the hell? And the others are like, let's just fix.
32 minutes, got it.
I'll look at Dornan. You'll get used to that part. Don't worry.
Okay.
The only thing he's more obsessed with than time is his forge. Or his girlfriend.
And he'll use that thing in the middle of the night.
I was about to use it in the middle of an interrogation, so.
True.
All right. Thank you, Dornan.
All right.
Much
I'm on it.
appreciated.
Absolutely. He walks out the door. Like,
And I'll relay that to yeah, that person.
Cybella.
Zybella. Oh God.
You're going to have to write
Why-
that name down somewhere.
Why did I want to say Lorelei? Like I don't even know where that name came from.
Oh, yeah, where did that name come from?
I have no clue.
I mean,
Has-
I personally know a couple of Loreleis, but I've never used that name.
Has your wife been watching Gilmore Girls?
She watches it so often, so maybe. I'll relay that to Zybella, and then I'll
Alright.
ask. Actually, no, I'll wait till my sister gets here.
All right. All right. Cybella says 32 minutes. Got it. I'll let Jorley know. Any seconds added to that? 32 minutes and 3 seconds?
Nope.
Okay.
32 minutes.
Exactly.
I
On the
figured
nose.
there's some
Oh,
buffer there
no.
because I waited for Dornan to leave. So
Okay. All right. Anything you wish to do in the meantime?
One thing I will do is at some point while we're waiting, I'm gonna approach. See, I'm bad with names too. What's her name? The
Leslin.
Leslin.
Leslin?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just looking it up.
He was buying himself time by going,
And basically apologize for intimidating her in the Dirk Hall. That my only intention there was Evangeline's safety.
She says, apology accepted.
And I hope that the things that we are attempting to accomplish will come to improve the Order of Truth itself, but also potentially the relations between the Order of Truth and the Order of Balance.
I'm sure we can work with each other. I mean,
I don't see why not.
yeah. Sure.
Truth is useful when attempting to bring balance about.
The truth
Yes.
is useful always.
Well, that is true.
If you pick and choose when to use the truth, you become like Reneo.
Yeah.
Yes, I just mean that it is a useful tool. And I don't like using the word tool in that sense, but it is,
What it is.
yes, it is exactly what it is.
I mean, when two parties come to a table to come to an agreement or a compromise about something, truth is generally the best means to approach such a situation. Such
Yep.
a situation. It takes a little while. You guys spend probably about an hour. You guys don't really hear much commotion at all from where you're at. There's nothing going on. But after about an hour, you will hear the door open, or there will be a knock first. There'll be a slight knock, and then the door will open. Like they don't wait for a response, but
They act like doctors.
yeah, kind of. It's a slight knock. It's that courtesy of like, I'm gonna open this door. So, and then they open the door, and there is Dornan, who opened the door for Joyve, Zybella, Lillian, and Erwin. And they walk in, and the room is starting to get a little crowded because
I'll give
there's
Erwin
a
a
lot of
bow.
people in this room. He will look at you and say, Kadeth, I came upon your request.
Yeah, I figured since there was already some coming from where you were at, it would be easier to just meet in person. And you may want to hear more directly what has been going on.
Certainly.
And witness some of the events that are likely going to happen within the next, I don't know, hours, days, whenever it is things happen.
Absolutely. I will be here and listen and report back to the council, to the rest of the council. Zybella will walk in. She will nod to all of you and then smile when she looks at Fix. And so,
Fix will smile and it telepathically just be like, I have to take care of something. 1 second. And he goes up to his sister and gives her a hug.
Lillian is taken back and kind of returns the hug, like, you don't hug me. What?
And then he'll step back. He did.
Well, you did hug her in Ephraimon,
Yeah.
and she's still like stiff about it, just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's fine.
this is
Just so
new.
she doesn't
This
feel
is
left
new."
out, I'll go say hello to Joyve.
Hello. I'm just transported. It's okay.
I know the feeling.
And
And then he'll step back and look at her and say, "Do I have your support?"
She'll smile. Yes.
Thank you.
And I will introduce Erwin to Leslin also at some point in that.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
And then after that, he'll go up to Zybella and I say out loud, "Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on such short notice."
She'll respond telepathically, you're welcome. But she'll give a nod so that everybody else kind of just sees her nod. But she'll say, "You're welcome." I mean,
I look forward to our
given
date.
As do I. I have never been to Key.
Well, I will have to show you my family home and introduce you to my parents.
So soon?
This is only the third date.
It's happening so fast.
I'll make it be easier. These are my parents.
No, she'll say, yeah. Okay. But I look forward to it.
And then once we're all caught up, I'll look to them and say, "Shall we get this unpleasant show on the road?"
Well, I think the next step is up to Leslin to take care of.
To begin to summon the others.
Yes.
to Leslin. Do you need? I assume you need to get back to the Order of Truth to make these arrangements.
It would be easiest, yes.
I'll look to Durnan. Ensure that she has an escort that is inconspicuous and will not stand out in the Order of Truth, and make sure that no harm comes to her.
Can be done.
As she gets ready to leave, I will reach for her arm
Mhm.
and
Jill.
just look at her.
Look at you.
The future relies on you.
Great.
No pressure?
No pressure.
Welcome to our world.
Right.
Uh,
This is what we deal with every
this
day.
is why I live in a monastery.
God.
Welcome to the minions of the gods.
You think you got it bad? You're just getting it from people.
Whew.
We get it from
All right.
gods directly,
Mhm.
more often than we'd like.
Well, I will set the meeting. I'm assuming you are doing the talking? Or do I need to?
You can introduce us, and we will handle most of it from there.
Okay.
Evangeline should handle the talking.
Sure.
Sure. I mean, you are a member of the Order of Truth.
Me and my big whopping 8 charisma.
It would come best from somebody from within
They
the order.
know. Yeah. It unlike events in the forest. In this case, coming from the inside would be better. Fix is correct.
All right.
But it does seem we're doing very similar things.
And when I, yeah, right. When I
Maybe that's our name. The Revealers. Oh.
The revealer.
the revealers.
We reveal the truth.
Now I just have a picture of some dude in a trench coat.
We don't want that kind of reveal. All right. Leslie will say, I will work on that immediately. Where should I send word once I have set that up?
Here into my residence.
Both places.
I do not know where we will be when you get it set up.
Very well. I will begin on that immediately. And she looks to Dornan, and Dornan will nod and walk out. She'll follow him.
Well, should we let Zybella get her unpleasantness out of the way?
I think so.
Erwin, you may be interested in this. The results of it, anyway. Then I'll lead the way back to the other room.
All right. Zybella will nod and head that direction. Forsyth, you and
See.
Kosha are hanging out and watching things and
Getting cozy. Cozy.
getting cozy. Sure.
Talking a
sure.
bunch, I'm sure.
Talking
not
about
as
the
much as we'd
sky
like
and the
to.
weather. Both of
Keep
them
your
know
hands
better
down
than
a
to.
lot.
Yep. Both of them know better than to talk about real things when in front of somebody that they don't want to
They
know.
don't trust
Yep.
at all.
Yeah. And so just chit chatting about things. And you will see walk in. I imagine Fix will probably be the first one in, and followed by Zybella and the rest of your group.
Yeah. I'd have no objection to that.
Yep.
All right.
Do we have time to continue? I didn't know if you wanted to stop here or.
Yeah, no, I wanted to finish this one.
Okay.
This scene, anyway.
Then I will. I'll step in front of Reneo and I'll say, we considered so many different ways to kill you and torture you, and as we've said, it just didn't seem like it really stuck with you. So we decided to let you live, but we're going to make it so that you can never, and I mean never, speak untruth again. You'll be bound to speak the truth, and only the truth, and be truthful in all regards of your life. From now until this world is no longer in existence. On any plane,
Even if you're dead.
Okay.
and then we're going to march you in front of the Order of Truth, and we're going to ask you questions and have you explain all the things that you've hidden from them.
And all the lies that you've made them believe were truth.
They say sunlight is the best disinfectant, and we're going to bring you out into the sun.
You could tell that he's still kind of doesn't really believe you. Like, how are you gonna make me speak the truth? Like, I don't know. That's just
And then I will kind
a
of
bit arrogant.
Zybella,
step aside and motion to Zybella,
do your
if
thing.
you would please.
Zybella will step up, and this is the first time he's ever actually looked at Zybella, and he kind of gets taken back because she is very elf. There's no hiding them ears. And she will kind of look at him for a moment, kind of stare at his eyes for a moment. I kind of look at the rest of the room.
Over the link. Do you wish us to leave?
Well,
I was
I
just
don't-
wondering that if we should or plug our ears.
I can ask them to leave and I can go with, or I can stay, whichever you prefer.
I think staying would be good. In case he gets a wild hair up his, you know. But I would.
Cha.
But Cha, you may want to cover your ears.
I'll speak out. Everyone here who ever wishes to tell a half of truths that has use of their hands and arms, I would suggest you plug your ears.
Definitely plugging my ears.
Zybella
La
plugs
la
her ears.
la 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 la.
I will.
Forsyth says, "I'll see you outside."
Yeah, Coach and I are going for a walk.
Coach says, "Good. We can go take a break."
That's fair. In your line of work, it's reasonable.
Truth isn't always as important when you're trying to manipulate someone.
Oh yeah.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
And then I will plug my ears as well.
Okay.
Here I am, lawful good. In real life,
So Zybella will speak. She will look at Reneo and kind of get a very serious look on her face. And she will say, Reneo. She will use his name just to try to emphasize. She will use his name. She will say, Reneo, from this point forward, you shall tell no lie. Only truth shall pass your lips until this world perishes in all aspects. And then she'll add on to it. You will only use this truth for the betterment of others, not for yourself.
Good thinking.
I knew there was a reason Fix liked her.
I knew there was a reason we let Fix go on so many dates with her.
And you will, when she speaks that, you can see him kind of squish his eyes like he's trying to, wow, I rolled a natural one.
Oh, that hit hard.
That hit hard.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
You will see that look of what you were trying to get from him when threatening his life or his limbs or anything of that nature. You now have that look. He is in complete shock, eyes wide, bit of fear. Yeah, it hit him hard. And
Is
then
it done?
She will turn around and talk to you telepathically and say it is finished.
Thank you. I'll kneel down in front of him and say, "Who do you serve?"
He laughs and kind of shakes his head. He says, Cyric.
Who
Does
does
Irv-
she serve?
Who does she serve?
He takes a breath. You can see that he doesn't really want to answer. But he'll say, Phil Sharoon.
I knew it.
So,
Who does Strollduck serve?
Lara.
what do we know about Lara? I don't remember.
She is the one that Philanthus is bound to.
Bound to.
Gotcha.
There was two others because there was 5 that.
Oh, where did I put their names? Jinnick. Jinnick. Reproot. Reproot.
Who does
Yeah.
Reproot and Jinnick serve?
In relation to grapefruit?
Grapefruit? No. Grooch.
Both of them?
He is one and the same.
Yeah.
Jinnick, Reproot.
The other
Oh,
was
okay, sorry. I was
Isabella,
confused.
right?
Harak, yeah.
Yeah. Who does Isabella Harak serve?
Aril.
What is the end game?
The return of Velsharoon.
What is necessary to make that come to fruition?
The collection.
What is the collection?
Of his artifacts.
Which do they have thus far?
Well, we have some of those taken out of play.
We have the spine of the original champion of the Raven Queen.
And what else?
We had location of the stone in the swamp.
It's now in my bag. Oh.
Actually, that's the one we shattered.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
one
okay.
that
And
Well, we have one of them then.
and
We have
Kadeth
all
has
the pieces, I think.
I have pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kadeth has some, and Forsyth has one.
Yeah.
That you know of.
That's
Yeah, you have the orb.
Gotcha. What else?
we know of 3 others.
Which are?
The Orb of Thunder,
Check.
the Soul Stone,
Check.
and the Ring of Silver.
Where are they?
Those 3 items we have not located yet.
What were you to report besides just if Arias was in the way?
We reported when she left. I reported when she left. Not necessarily that she was actually in the way.
Hmm.
The other thing that I was to report was if we also had you at the Dirk Hall.
And did you report that?
Well, no, I kind of got ran through by a sword.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did that part.
Is there any others within the Order of Truth that serve your god,
Or any of the other gods.
or any of the other 5, or other 4, technically?
Well, I only gave you the name of. Well, I did give you the name of 4. There are 3.
What are their names?
Ed,
Very
Ed, and
clearly
Eddie.
low. Yeah.
He'll give us 3 random names.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can just say that he gives them to us.
Okay,
Yeah.
he gives their names relatively reluctantly.
And I'm assuming Leslin came in here with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
She also plucked her ears, by the way.
good. I mean, wouldn't affect her as badly, but still.
Are there any other gods conspiring to bring Belsharoon back?
Any other gods?
That was my first question, yes.
Beshaba. He's getting the look of like, oh my god, I'm spilling it all.
Yep.
And the next?
And the
'Cause
next,
this was a genius idea.
What other names?
that I told you the gods' names.
Okay.
Beshaba, Lara, Sirik, Grumsh, and Aril.
Okay. Who serves Beshara?
He kind of gets a little bit of a smirk. Lady Gara.
So she is serving 2?
She serves one god.
You said that was Belsharoon.
No, you asked me who Sirik works for.
Oh. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
I think he
You are
serves
much more
himself.
helpful now.
So all of them work for the Belsharoon, really.
In the end, yes. Through the link. Any other questions?
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually gonna look at. I'm gonna look at Erwin also, and Leslin each in turn. Anything you'd like to know?
Leslie steps forward and she'll look at him and she'll say, "How long have you known?" Neo kind of gives her a little, like, squished eyebrows, like, how? She says, "The gods. How long did you know that the gods existed?" He goes, "Oh, well, I've most of my life, to be fair. I started serving Cyric when I was but a lad." She gets a little huffy and just, like, turns around. She's angry. Everything
You go,
changes.
sister.
Do you well, important question. What's the password to your bank account? No.
What's your mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
Your social security number?
Yeah, that
color?
kind of securities hasn't happened yet.
Who's your favorite teacher in school?
Where do you keep all your special stuff?
What use do you think Cyric is going to have for a follower that can no longer lie?
He gives you an evil eye. I don't think I need to answer that question. I think you already know.
Do you regret what you've done? Or do you just regret what's happened to you now?
Just regret getting caught.
Yeah.
All liars only regret getting caught.
And now, just imagine how this conversation is going to go in front of the council at the Order of Truth.
Not well.
You
For
Now,
me.
could say that.
don't you wish I was more into killing?
Don't you wish you were more into open communication?
Quite frankly. Yeah.
Now, the thing that I'm wondering is, and I'm pretty sure it will, but I think that this compulsion will last to your next life, to your soul, if you may. Yeah, I think it's pretty powerful.
Pretty much, I mean, she did say till the end of the world.
In all iterations.
So, yeah, good luck.
I'll reach up and pat his cheek again.
Patronizing.
And
yeah.
I will ask him one more time. About his knowledge of me.
I saw something different. Sirik confirmed it. Your path, though not orchestrated, was perfect. Beyond what could be orchestrated was perfect. This is even beyond the gods somehow.
I will write that in the book, along with all the other stuff.
All right.
I do want to ask him one thing.
Yeah.
I assume that she has the spine that you mentioned in her collection.
I mean, where else would you keep a spine?
It's not the one she's currently using, is it?
I don't believe so. I've never actually laid eyes on it. I was just told she has it.
Very well.
I studied that thing very closely. Do I get a sense that it could have been divine or holy or unholy in nature?
It did not seem divine in any nature.
I think that we need to bunk up tonight in the same room so that we can keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm going to keep you guys up for a good portion of the night.
He's got some issues to work through.
Maybe you could do your forging down the hall.
That's okay. Evangeline has some reverse transcribing to do.
All right. All right. So Dornan will, come back and say, so what's the plan here? Are we gonna? Do I need to make rooms? Do I need to find a place to hold this gentleman?
I think that we need escort and a way to get to my home without him being seen or us.
I can take him back up in the sky again.
Yeah.
I have one more invisibility I could cast. Oh! I
That
also
would be
have
great.
some dust of disappearance still.
Oh, there you go.
She does have some.
So
I
Forsyth could
actually have
carry
two
him.
more.
Forsyth could carry him, and you could make him disappear.
I could make them
Right.
both disappear. When I throw the dust up in the air, everything that it comes down on disappears.
It's like what, a
With that-
10-foot
with that
radius?
10
Hmm.
There you go. So
Well,
just
that
hit
But then we won't
Forsyth
be able to
while he's
see
carrying
each
him.
other.
You
I
won't
think she
be
was
seen
just
by
meaning
anybody.
just make me and him invisible,
Yeah.
and then I can just wait for you guys at wherever you want me to.
Okay. I think that's our plan.
All right.
Well,
So you
Try
hit-
knocking him out first.
again?
Or gagging him. We could just
Well,
gag
we
him.
can do both. I like knocking him out.
It's fun.
Yeah. And then Pix will go over and he'll just kind of slip his arm into Zybella's.
All right.
And I'm gonna walk with Erwin so that we can chat on our way back, basically.
All right. You guys get yourselves together. Forsyth, you haven't. It's been long enough for you to be able to have a wild shape again if you've run out because,
Yeah.
taking pauses, long pauses. Um. So
Let's
you're
say we've
gonna.
had a
Just
short
rested while
rest
I
at
was
this
watching.
point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You've all had a short rest at this point.
Okay.
You can transform. You get him, and you guys disappear through Evangeline's tricks, and you take off with him. Kadeth, Erwin, you start heading that direction. Doran, you see a couple of guys that he just kind of signals, and they seem to disappear around you. You know that they're following, you know that they're keeping eyes out, but you don't necessarily see them.
And then one of them or a couple are taking Leslin to the Order of Truth, right?
Oh yeah, they're already left.
Okay.
And you walk with Zybella. Joyve is walking kind of in the middle of you all, as so is Lillian. And you guys start to head home. On your way home, you get about halfway there. And Fix, you get Philathus in your head.
You rang.
Philathus says, I am obligated to inform you. Your mother has left the house.
Elvis has left the
Of her
building.
own accord?
Of her own accord, she took a stroll. Unfortunately, trouble has befallen her
Where?
at home. He hesitates for a little bit. He says, Gidna caught her outside. She is now inside thanks to, well, because of your brother, Beneth. Quick reaction.
Is
Heal.
Vaneth okay?
Beneth is okay. He caught her, healed her, brought her in. She is now resting.
What of her Drake?
Her Drake, to my knowledge, is still in her lair. Sorry, it's female. In her lair.
Where's Gidna?
Gone.
Do you enjoy serving the Jagged Dream?
Sometimes.
Do you enjoy serving Lara?
Yes.
What is keeping Lara from turning you against us?
Binding magic. Old magic.
So you're bound to the Jagged Dream beyond just the whim of Lyra.
Yes.
Do you know the details of this bargain?
Not entirely.
Do you have a gist of them?
It was many predecessors ago who was also a quite powerful magic user himself. made a deal. Some kind of challenge or something or another. And he succeeded.
And as such, you are bound to us for a certain period of time.
I don't know the time frame.
I think we need to figure out a way to make this a more amenable deal to you. So long as it aligns with the organization.
I'm listening.
I want you to protect my family and the organization because you want to, not just because you are bound to. One, you will step further to ensure is done. The other, you will do the bare minimum. Am I wrong?
No.
So tell me, what can I do within my power to make this a little bit more hospitable for you?
I will think on that.
AKA the DM doesn't know.
That's where we're going to end tonight's one.
I told you, fix this about order.
He's gonna start the order of order.
Right? No. Jagged Dream is about causing chaos.
You can cause chaos while still keeping
Orderly.
order within your own ranks.
All right.
Orderly
that is,
chaos. Yeah,
seriously, though, that is where we're going to end the session because it is late.
yeah, it is.
And I just wanted to get you guys out of the underbelly. And you're on your way home. Mama's been injured, so not dying. And we will pick that up next week. Not next
No,
week. 2 weeks. from
week
now.
after
2 weeks.
next.
Yeah,
2
week
weeks.
after next. 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, because next week we are not streaming. Just reminder. Next week we're not streaming. So in 2 weeks we will pick up the story then. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our website. There's all kinds of little tidbits, information about Frankfurt Con. You probably could put the link on there too to send them to Frankfurt Con if they want to buy tickets or whatever. I don't know. We'll look into it.
I think I did. Maybe
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't look. So check out our website and join Rhonda and Frankfurt Con if you're in the area. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, share the video,
All that fun stuff.
all that fun stuff. All right. Good night, everybody.